In 2010, near the shadows of this massive, multi-domed temple in West Bengal, a family feud broke out over a piece of land. To expand the house, the father insisted on one thing: a towering, ancient neem tree had to go. The pushback was immediate and visceral. The eldest uncle refused to permit it, and the neighbors, simple people who had worshipped the tree for years, begged the family to stop. Local priests even warned that a female spirit had claimed the branches as her home. The father dismissed them all as superstitious frauds. He ignored the pleas and the warnings, and within just a few days, the ancient trunk was violently severed to make room for a new floor. That same evening, the younger uncle was out playing football. A ball struck him in the face with such unnatural force that his eye was completely destroyed. Doctors could do nothing to save it. The accident marked a shift in the house. By removing the tree, the father hadn't just cleared a construction site. He had removed the only thing standing between his family and the history of that land. The first night without the tree, the haunting took a physical form. Pamela, the daughter, woke to a heavy knocking on her door. As she watched, the handle slowly turned and the door swung open into the pitch-black hallway. A boy, perhaps 10 years old, walked in. He was silent, dressed in a traditional dhoti. He didn't acknowledge Pamela. He simply walked to the window and stood there, staring out at the empty, dark patch of earth where the neem tree had once stood. He wasn't there for the living. He was looking for the sanctuary the father had cut down. The presence of the boy made sense once the family looked into the land's history. Generations earlier, Pamela's great-grandfather had bought this massive plot for an impossibly low price from a widow who was desperate for money. During the very first excavation for the house, the workers found bones. Skeletons were buried deep in the mud, surfacing one after another. Villagers eventually revealed that the land was once owned by 4 ruthless moneylenders. When desperate farmers couldn't pay their debts, they were murdered and hidden right here in the dirt beneath the house. The great-grandfather didn't want to lose the property, so he held a few purification rituals and built the house anyway. For decades, the family lived on top of a grave, relying on those rituals and the massive tree by the well to keep the past buried. But the peace was fragile. When Pamela's parents moved into their new section of the home, the mother began smelling a rotting odor that no one else could detect. Every night, the faint sound of a woman crying drifted in from the well. The warning finally became visible on a stormy, pitch-black afternoon. The mother, 8 months pregnant, looked out her window as the rain poured. Beneath the neem tree stood a woman. Her skin was horribly burned, and her eyes were replaced by black, hollow sockets. She stared directly at the mother's stomach. In that moment, a freezing, unbearable pain shot through the mother's abdomen, and the woman vanished into the storm. That encounter changed everything. It became clear that the neem tree was the only thing separating the family's future from the agonizing history buried in the mud. By 2011, the father became the target. A small wound in his mouth quickly turned into stage 2 cancer. The medical system seemed to work against him. Appointments were canceled without reason. Surgeries were delayed again and again. Every time a treatment was scheduled, something went wrong. While the father's health failed, the mother had a recurring dream. She saw the boy in the dhoti sitting in the dark, his face twisting into a mocking laugh as her husband sat nearby, vomiting blood. On June 9, 2012, as the father prepared for yet another treatment, he collapsed near the window. He died instantly, vomiting a massive amount of blood, exactly as the dream had shown. The medical delays hadn't been a coincidence. The boy in the dhoti had already decided the outcome for the man who destroyed the tree. After the funeral, the house felt heavy and suffocating. Pamela came down with double typhoid, and her younger brother developed severe asthma. The family was drowning in grief and sickness. In a final act of desperation, the mother prayed to goddess Kali. In a dream, a woman in a red sari appeared, reflected in the water of the temple grounds, and gave her a single instruction: plant a neem tree where the old one stood. The mother immediately planted a new neem sapling and cared for it every day. She lit incense and cleaned the ground around it. As the tree grew,
the suffocating weight in the house lifted, and the children began to recover.
A priest eventually explained that the boy was a Brahmadaitya, a powerful tree spirit. When his home was destroyed, he had nowhere else to go but into the lives of the people who took it. Today, the new tree stands as the spirit's home once again. The family has learned that we share this soil with things much older than ourselves, and that some sanctuaries are too deep to ever